Hello and welcome to Mental Episode 4, Self-Care Part 2. Almost said Part 4 there. To start off this episode, I'm going to say that I have been using a lot of hashtags on Instagram trying to get more viewers. I've gotten like 2 brand new people on my page, but that's it. All the other people are my friends. As far as I know, episode 3 hasn't been getting any views at all. Because, let's be frank, most people don't watch my podcast. My hope is that once I finish the first season of Forgotten Histories and start recording that, I'm going to actually have a decent following. Hopefully, because I'm actually putting in effort to do that podcast more so than I am this one. Because this one is literally me looking up sources online for certain episodes, screenshotting them, and then just making an episode list of things that I should talk about according to what the episode's going to be based off of. But for Forgotten Histories, that's going to be full-on researched and written episodes. So there is a script for that podcast, not just a single card of things that I should talk about. It's gonna take a whole lot more stuff to do that podcast. And I'm going to actually record it like I would if I was being professional, and I will actually edit that one. But yeah, that is the plan for now. I'm just going to try to advance my following on this podcast, because this podcast is simple for me to... Bleh. Sorry, my throat's messing up. This podcast is simple for me to just sit down, record twice a week, and go on hikes to record if needed. Obviously now, at the moment, I am cutting and pausing the recording a lot more because I feel like my parents are going to be home soon, and I'm inside the house right now and not on a hike, so I actually have to worry about people coming and interrupting my recording. I'm also sitting on my bed and recording with my phone rather than my mic because I'm lazy and don't want to grab my mic from my closet and set it all up just to record a 20-minute video. Roughly 20 minutes. I've already spent 3 minutes rambling on about plans. At the moment, I'm going to continue to record at least once a week. I need to start recording twice a week, but motivation is lacking right now, especially because of school and all that. Without further ado, let's get into today's episode. Self-care, Part 2. As a refresher before we get into this one, in Part 1 we talked about taking steps to care for yourself, such as good hygiene, getting out of bed in the morning, trying to get motivation in that sense, eating healthy foods, fruits, vegetables, anything healthy like that, making good choices and decisions, such as removing yourself from unhealthy social groups, just making good life decisions in general, drinking tea such as mint, green, or chamomile. Chamomile helps with anxiety, green tea, and mint tea, which I prefer to combine and make into 1 cup of tea, is good for depression anyhow, as well as other mental illnesses. Good hygiene, getting out of bed, showering, brushing your teeth, etc., etc. Do do a skincare routine, all that stuff. Just get good hygiene. Make sure your body is being taken care of. Because if you don't take care of your mind and your body, then what else do you have? But you first have to take care of your body, then that is taking care of your mind as well. Then exercise, stuff such as exercise. Set up an exercise routine, join a karate studio or any martial arts. Try new forms of exercise, work muscles you didn't even know you had. Then music. We always want to listen to music because music helps a lot. Because when people aren't there for you, music always is. I'm saying a lot. Wow. Okay. Huh. Well, alright. Where was I? Yes, music, and music leads to binaural beats, which effectively are different frequencies on different levels of hertz. I say way too much. Eek. I'll get better. Binaural beats are frequencies and all that help restructure your mind into something better. That is what happened in Self-Care Part 1. In this episode, Part 2, we will be talking about having accomplishments, no matter how big or how small. You need to celebrate every single accomplishment that you have, whether it's as small as getting out of bed in the morning and showering, or just getting out of bed in general. Every step you take during the day is an important step. No matter how small you think these things are, they are actually majorly big because they are important parts of you living your life. Because anybody gets out of bed in the morning. Everybody does. Doesn't matter who you are. You could be an actor, an actress, someone with a major following. No matter what, you get out of bed in the morning. And that's important. It's a small step that everybody does. Most people don't really notice it because it's part of them. It's their muscle memory. It's 8 o'clock, time to wake up. Or anything like that. For someone who is mentally ill and has a mental illness that makes it so they don't have energy, sleep in really late, and kind of just lays in bed all day, it's important to get out of bed and accomplish that small task and celebrate it, as well as going and accomplishing the task of eating breakfast, drinking water. You just gotta celebrate that, because you don't have to throw an entire party. You just have to be like, huh, I got out of bed today. I'm proud of myself for that. I thought today was going to be a very bad day. Or something along those lines. Just focus on you and accomplish these small tasks and celebrate the fact that you got these small tasks done. Leading to the next thing to talk about is how religion can help. It might not help with people who are atheist or don't believe in gods or goddesses, but religion for the religious can help mental illnesses. You can read the Bible. There's lots of stories that deal with mental illnesses, which seemingly are unbeknownst to the people in the book itself. And from there, you can just heal, and you can go and talk to a priest, a preacher, any head of your what's the word? Your church, I guess. There's a fancier word I was going to use. Um, you can talk to the head of your church. That's what they're there for. They're there to help guide you, just as Jesus would if he was walking the earth today. He will guide you and he will help you try to get better mentally. And if he doesn't, personally, if he doesn't, then he is not a good priest or pastor. That's for Catholics and Christians and Muslims, I suppose. I don't know all about the Middle Eastern religions, but yeah, the rabbis still are there to help you as well as guide you. For other religions, such as Wiccans, pagans, heathens, basically anything other than Christians, Jews, and Catholics, and you don't exactly have someone you can go to. However, that does not mean you do not have support. That you have support because you can go outside. I'm not saying Catholics, Christians, and Jews cannot go outside. I'm just saying if you worship Mother Nature, then you're basically outside a lot of the time, and just take some time to breathe. Meditate. Which religion is good for the religious. I personally don't really have much faith when it comes to religion, but for other people, you might. People in that religion are there to support you and guide you. So, ask for their support and their guidance. And if you can't, then just going outside helps. Being around nature, just going and breathing fresh air. If you live in the city, I highly suggest you just take even a day trip to a park or take a day trip outside the city to a forest. Just somewhere where you can go and breathe fresh nature. Being around plants and getting down to the roots of what it means to be a human in a forest helps a lot. That's why I like going on hikes around my property. Not only can I go up to the property line and just sit down and meditate for a minute, I can also go and be alone so I can record. I can go and just be alone in general. For me, being alone helps. For others, it might not. Yeah, being outside generally helps, and I really suggest doing that. And if you aren't being alone, if being alone does not help you, then surround yourself with good people. Good people are friends that will always be there for you. And just like priests and pastors, they're there to guide you. They want to see you become the best possible you that you can be. I've had many friends over the years, and some are good, some are bad. But currently, I've had my best friend in real life. He has been my friend since, what, 2012? Give or take. And my best online friend and my entire online friend group for close to 2 years now. And they've always been there for me, just as I have for them. We've been through a lot of hardships together, and I've genuinely felt better after talking to all of them. That's just who they are. They're wonderful people, and frankly, I love all of them. And surround yourself with good people, and try to cut off all the negative people. I know it is hard to do that, but it is worth it. I have a bad habit of not doing it as soon as I meet the people, and when I start getting attached to them when they're manipulating me, um, I start getting worse mentally, and that's not good at all. I should have cut them off as soon as I learned that they were manipulating me. Of course, there are those who can manipulate people without the people even knowing. Um, yeah, cut off good. Not, yeah, totally cut off good people. Good job, tongue. Um, cut off negative people and surround yourself with good people. And take time to appreciate all you have. If you take time to just sit and look around, look at all that you own. It's all the stuff that you wanted at one point, or maybe all the stuff you did not want at one point. You don't have to hold on to this stuff, but you kind of just do. I frankly feel like if you are surrounded by stuff you don't want, you should just get rid of it. And if you don't want to get rid of it, then you obviously still do want it. But appreciate it. Like, I have 4 fish over there guppy lipping the top of the water tank. And they are really cute and they're fun to look at. You kind of just have to sit down and just appreciate the fact that they're living creatures that you're taking care of. You just gotta appreciate the fact that you have things. A lot of people don't have the stuff that you do. Especially if those people are either mentally ill or living in a foreign country that is generally poor. You just gotta be humble more. It's kind of like a martial artist thinking that he's the best martial artist ever, and the people around him all tell him that he's the best martial artist ever, and they're just feeding his ego when he isn't the best martial artist, because the best martial artists are the people that are humble, the people that have good mentalities. You don't go around just flaunting that you're a black belt in karate. No, you kind of just be like, oh yeah, I'm a black belt in karate. No big deal. You don't just go be like, ha, I'm a black belt in karate and you're only a white belt. No, you're humble. You teach people because that's what you want to do. And if you don't want to teach people, then you don't. But, yeah, that's just how it goes. You gotta be humble and you gotta take time to appreciate the fact that you have what you have and you've come so far. Like, a lot of times, I kind of just sit back and just think of how far I've come, even in the past 2 years. I got rid of an entire friend group, had my mind completely and utterly crushed by my ex, had a crush that kind of crushed me, had an ex that saved me and then crushed me, and joined karate, and have been doing that for roughly 2 years now. 4th degree orange belt, going on 5th degree. And just, I appreciate that I've gone through all those lessons. Yes, the people have crushed me utterly and completely mentally, but I always build up. I always come back. I have gone through a lot of stuff, and a lot of people have gone through more. Just don't be that egotistical person who's just like, oh, it's this kind of default that I've been through more stuff than you, so I know more stuff about life than you do. I've come across a lot of people like that on my adventures online, who are just egotistical and just decide that they are better than you and decide that they have been through so much more than you, even if they are 2 years younger than you. Which, frankly, when it comes to mental states and mentalities, age is just a number, especially once you get to your teenage years. Which adults, frankly, tend to forget, I believe. Because I have come across a lot of people who are better adults than the adults are, and they are only 14 or 15. You don't really understand the fact that people that go through a lot of stuff, regardless of their age, and you kind of just forget about that, I guess. But you don't go around pointing fingers like, I've been through much more than you have, and I'm 15. When in reality, if the person didn't tell you what they've been through, you don't know what they've been through. So you can't just make that automatic assumption that you know more about life than they do. So yeah, I kind of jumped around in the list a little bit there, because I was just going through taking time to appreciate all that you have, and the next one's cutting off negative people, which I already talked about. But yeah, cut off negative people. Cut off that person who thinks he has more life skill than you do, even though he's 2 years younger than you. Cut off the people in your life, in real life or online, that are kind of just dragging you down. I know that there are times that you can't exactly cut off people like, say, your family, so you kind of just gotta cut yourself off from them. You gotta just hunker down in your room if you have a room and just try to avoid them. If you don't exactly have a room, like say you have an older sibling taking up one bedroom and your parents taking up another bedroom in your 2-bedroom apartment, then find another safe place. You could find it outside. You could find it by a tree or by a creek. Or heck, you could just find it in the flippin' stairwell of your apartment building. Just somewhere where you can go and be alone. And just be surrounded by good people. Go out with friends. And if you don't trust your friends, then I guess you can't really trust anyone. Now, this episode has been a little bit shorter, but it's going on half an hour, so it's close enough. I have to close with a note of respect to women and their monthly and their emotions, which I did last episode too, but that episode I went into way too much detail with it. This episode I'm gonna do the same. I respect all you women. You go through so much with your bodies, and I see it every month, at least, with pretty much every single one of my friends, because I have more female friends than I do male friends, especially online. As well as family, having a brother and a sister. It's not easy to be a female. Especially when you have your monthly and all your emotions go wacky. That does not really help anything. If you have a mental illness, then it gets a whole lot worse. I have known someone that was in my life for about 4 months that I feel like I helped through a lot of stuff, and every time her monthly came on, everything got worse. Like, we could go a whole 3 weeks without any problems, and then as soon as the monthly hit, everything just went downhill from there. And she will remain nameless, but she had a lot of mental illnesses. And I was generally trying to figure out how I could help her, and I feel like I did. But then everything seemed to go downhill more so for me. So, yeah. The point is, respect to all you women that have to deal with your periods and have your mental illnesses get affected by your periods. I seriously respect you. I respect everyone with mental illnesses, but you go through a whole lot more, it feels like. Well, with that closing note, I am going to say goodbye. I will see you all next week, and I hope you enjoyed the next episode, which I believe will be on OCD, if I remember correctly. So yeah, I will talk to you all next week, and I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please leave a like, because I am seriously like-starved, and I feel like nobody watches my videos, so I should just ask for likes, that way I know people do actually like my videos, and actually watch them. Because sometimes I've wondered if YouTube's algorithm makes it so that people can view my videos, but if they don't watch it all the way through, it's not counted as a view. Because YouTube's kind of strange like that, and this is kind of my first time ever doing something to this scale. This is the most things I've uploaded to a single YouTube channel before. And I'm rambling again. And I'm sorry if my voice was kind of softer with this video. I don't know, something about today is just making my voice soft and less energetic than normal, I feel. No more preacher rants like episode 2, I suppose. So yeah, I will talk to you all next week, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like, and if you want to subscribe, then go for it. If not, then don't. Or if you don't want to subscribe, do so anyhow. I gotta have my funny for today. Anyways, don't mind all of the background noise, because my fish are annoying, and there's birds outside. Yeah. Talk to you all later. May your bells be short and your light be strong.